Hello, my name is Dwight Kelly, and I'm one of the researchers for the History Project that recognizes and honors the African American high schools in Louisiana before 1970. My friend and fellow researcher, Dr. Russell Hill, had the pleasure of interviewing Coach Mackie Freeze, a Louisiana high school coaching legend, in April of 2018. Coach Freeze was 91 years old at the time of this interview. Coach Abe Pierce, a former teacher and coach at Richwood, also was present, and he helped clarify and answer some of the questions about Coach Freeze's accomplishments, accolades, and his illustrious career during his time as a coach at Richwood High School. Enjoy.
Coach Mackie Freeze, how are you today?
That's fine.
Good. Coach Freeze, I understood that you were the coach of Richwood High School. What were the years that you coached at Richwood High School?
1954. 1954.
Until.
Yeah.
And when did you step down?
About 18 years later, wasn't it? 1967.
1967. Now, will you give me your background? Where did you go to high school and where did you go to college?
I went to high school at Sterling High School, and it was the only black Sterling I was in, and I went to college at Grambling State University.
Oh, okay. So, what was the high school again? Sterlingtown.
Erlington.
Oh, okay. Sterlingtown. And that's in what parish? Washita Parish. And, okay. Now, there's another school there. Have you heard of Miles High School? Is that the same school?
Yeah.
Oh.
Miles High School was the one that was behind us.
Oh.
But the Miles High School is by part of the one you're supposed to remember.
Okay.
We went to Sterling High School, which was only a black school there.
Okay.
Only black school in the little town.
Oh, okay. Good. When did you graduate from Grambling?
1950.
1950. And when did you start teaching?
1950.
1950. And what were your subjects?
I beg your pardon, what was your subject? I was teaching the 7th and 8th grade and coaching basketball down at Gaines High School in Montgomery, Louisiana.
Oh, okay. Gaines High School in Montgomery, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, why did you start coaching football?
1954.
I said, why did you start coaching football? What drove you?
Oh, well, I always wanted to coach football anyway, but Mrs. Mary F. Goins talked to my first year teaching. She told Mrs. Goins that I would be the man she wanted.
Okay. Why do you think that she pointed you out as the man she wanted? What about you made you the man?
I was a good old country boy, I guess. I don't know.
No, were there other male teachers?
Yeah.
Right.
See, I was an athlete at Grambling prior to that time.
Okay.
And I was just getting back from, Vero Beach, wasn't it? Vero Beach down with the Dodgers, too. And I guess she just wanted me to be there. You know, I knew them in high school, the principal.
Okay. Okay, good. So, now, when she told you about coaching this phantom football team, because I understand that there was nothing there for a football team, am I correct?
Yeah, so right. She didn't have $300.
So all of a sudden, someone called you forth and said they want you to coach a football team that didn't exist. So how did you go about doing this?
Well, I knew from the beginning that she didn't have anything, and I knew it was going to be tough. I didn't know it was going to be that tough. But we just went to get it, man.
Right. Now, how was it tough? What was the toughest thing about this team, this Phantom team?
We coaches, I didn't have anything but the principal and some $300.
Well, okay. Now, well, what was your first task? You didn't have any assistants. You had $300. So how did you go? What did you do first? Did you get your players, or did you get the football field, or did you get the uniforms? How did you go about doing this?
Well, we didn't have a football field either, and we didn't have any togs either. That's what we call them, togs. So we had to get them from various places, and we had a good friend up at Neville High School who had some pants that were too large for his boys, and he gave them to me, and I had enough practice in for a little while. But Mrs. Goins ordered some practice pants that we played in too, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, we were red and white, and she could use the white in a game, see?
Oh, okay. Now, did you start practicing on a football field, or did you wait to get your football field to start practicing, or did you get the football field first?
We had a space. We started practicing football.
Okay. And what kind of land was your football field on? I mean, was it wooded area first, or was it farm area?
It's farm area.
It was farm area. So what did you have to do to prepare this football field?
We got the farmers to dish it up and spade it up and all that stuff, man. We just used the farmers to do it for us. There were some good people around there who wanted the football team, and they helped.
Okay. So it was a real community effort to do this.
Oh, yeah, they were good people.
Oh, okay. Do you recall who were your very first opponents when you started?
I think that was McCall High School at Tallulah, wasn't it? That was before my assistant coach came. He came in this year.
Okay. So who was
McCall High School? I don't believe I had an assistant there.
Okay. Are you referring to Reuben McCall?
Yeah, I'm talking McCall High School at Tallulah.
Tallulah. Okay. And what year did you first play them?
I played them in my first year, I believe.
1954.
Way late in the season.
Okay.
I didn't play for about 2 games over that year.
Okay, 1954. So do you recall the score of your first game?
60-0 Richwood.
60-0. That is impressive, though.
60 or 6? 60.
As in 60. 60.
As in 60, yeah.
60. 6 tens. Okay, we have that. Now, and who else did you play that year?
We played Bunnies, a team out of Bunnies, Louisiana. Who
Okay, was that
the state championship that year?
Yeah. Was that West Side High School?
Yes, it was West Side. Sure was West Side.
Okay. Now, do you happen to recall the approximate score when you played West Side High?
I know them very well.
Yeah. What was the score for that?
12-6.
12-6.
12-6, yeah.
Okay. Did you play anybody else that year?
Nope.
Oh, okay. So you started off wowing the crowd, huh?
Well, I was a lucky fella. I had some good old country boy that wanted to play football.
Okay. Now, how did you travel? How did you travel?
Well, let's see. I think we had to buy an old bus. In school, it wasn't funny to bus black schools then, so we just bought some kind of old bus to get us there and back.
Okay. Do you know what brand it was?
I think it was an old Chevy bus.
Oh, okay. Good. Okay. Now, you started your school in 1954, and you started from a football field that you had to prepare with the farmers. Now,
Absolutely.
When did you get lights on your field?
I don't know. It was quite some time. It must have been about 3 years later, wasn't it? It's been 3 or 4 years later.
around 1957 to 58, then you had lights, okay?
Yeah, that's it. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Okay, now, who were your opponents in North Louisiana? If you said you had fierce opponents, who would you say that you had to think about playing?
Well, Granville High, Bastrop, Jonesboro. We had we call Morehouse High.
Yeah.
Lincoln High School.
Mm-hmm.
Jonesboro High School.
That was Jackson High School, am I correct?
That's right,
Yeah.
Jackson High.
Okay. What about Jasper High? Did you play them?
Well, Jackson wasn't playing football.
Oh, okay.
That was Jackson High, Jonesboro. That's the only school in the parish black that was playing football.
Oh, okay. Any other opponents up north? Okay.
Did we have opponents up north? What do you mean?
I'm saying any other fierce opponents that you would have up north.
You thinking about it? Say Graham. Did I say Graham
Okay.
High?
Yeah. Did you ever play Charles H. Brown? Brown High in Spring Hill?
No.
Okay.
We played what this team over near Shreveport there. The little team named Shreveport. What Princeton.
Princeton. Princeton.
Princeton was another one. Yeah.
Okay. And now there's another team, Richardson High. Did you ever play Richardson or Carroll locally?
We were in different conferences. Richardson and I we were in different conferences. Richardson came on later than this. They came on later than this.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. And did you ever, when did you enter the district competition as a champ? When did you first enter the district competition?
When was that? That was about 2 years after we...
2 years after, so around 56, okay. And then...
55, I mean.
About 55. Okay, and then for the zone, when did you go zone? When did you move up higher?
Well, we moved higher next year in AA.
Okay.
Next year.
Okay, and now, when did you start pressing toward the state competition?
It was about 59. About 59, yeah.
1959. And how far did you go up then?
59. We might have. Did we win it? You won in 61, 62, and 63 was it? 64. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know how far we went, but Morehouse beat us.
Morehouse in 59, right?
Yeah.
Because that makes perfect sense, that Morehouse in 1959. But
Right.
were you on the scene in 1960?
Oh yeah.
Okay, and did you go to state in 60?
Yes.
Okay, and you said 61,
Yes.
62.
Yeah.
Did you do 63?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And did you do anything else before 1970 is what I'm trying to find out. Did you go back?
Oh, well, you had retired. I had retired after that. You got promoted. Yeah, I had been promoted. I had been promoted to assistant principal then.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. I understand.
That happened in 67. Yeah,
In 67. In 67.
But, of course, you know, the team that we had trained won a playoff in the state of Louisiana in AA the next year.
Okay, and
That was under the direction of Eugene Hughes. And the next year, they won the state.
so you're saying, so in 1970 when integration occurred,
Right.
you were the runner-up. You were the runner-ups.
Yeah.
And so in 1971, you took Richwood took state. Am I correct?
You're right. Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
okay. Okay. What? Now, in who do you have the teams and the years that your opponents were for state championship? In those years?
Well, yeah, T.A. Levy.
Okay. What year was T.A. Levy?
61 or 62.
Okay. Okay. And I understood you played T.A. Levy twice. Am I correct?
I did. We did.
For state championship, and you won both of those. Am I correct?
Yes.
Who was the other team? Because that would be two of those. Who were the other teams that you beat?
Mossville.
You beat Mossville, and that was what year? Was that?
That was between the 2 years that I played.
T.A. Levy. Okay, so that was probably 62.
Yeah,
62. 62. And then you defeated another team. Do you know the fourth team that you defeated?
That was before all this stuff started. That was about forfeit.
Oh, okay.
We played Homer. This team out of Homer. Homer played Lucy. We had won the game, but we had a mistake on our rule mistake.
Oh,
And they
okay.
went on to play. You know how the LAIA was then. They went on to play Bogalusa. Bogalusa had a bowling team 22 years old, and they awarded the game to us. That I wouldn't pick up the trophy, but they gave the game to us.
Oh, okay. Okay. Good. Okay. And you said what team that was from the South? It had to be a South team, right? What was the team?
Bogalusa.
Oh, are you saying Central or Bogalusa?
Yeah.
Oh, Central High School.
They played what team at home, man? This team was from Homer, Louisiana.
Homer. That would be South Down. Homer.
Yeah.
So,
That's who that would be. Anyway, we beat them on the penetration, but they had it all wrong, and they played it anyway. And this other team that played them had an elder boy on the team. But they would have awarded the championship to Homer. They gave it to us.
Oh, okay. Good. Okay. Now, what was your most, if you'd have to just take everything that you've done and in coaching football, what would you say was your most memorable moment while you were coaching?
That's going to be a dizzy. That's pretty hard. That's pretty hard. Right?
Well, why don't you give me several of your most memorable moments?
Okay, now that's pretty good. That when we won the state championship.
Okay. Okay. Who do you think gave you the toughest time as far as winning the state championship?
T.A. Levy.
Why were they so tough?
Because they were using the same formations I was using. we were doing the same thing.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Now, but I have another question, and it's where did you get your inspiration for your style of play? Where did you get that?
Well, along with Miss Pierce and I got that. My style of dog. See, Quinn Rob ran a singer wing at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But see, I went to USC that year for graduate school, and I picked up a lot of stuff from internet and reading and so forth, and I didn't like the same way, no way. I just created it more or less.
Oh, okay. Okay. What type of support did you get from the school board, Washita?
You heard Miss Pierce?
Yeah, I said, what kind? Okay. Will you describe the little support that they gave? What?
No.
Okay. Okay. Now, who were your assistants over the years?
Well, Mr. Pierce, Mr. Eugene Hughes,
Okay.
Freddie Mac was a quarterback. Freddie McHenry.
Freddie Mac.
And he was my first quarterback. Anyway, he was second quarterback. But that's we had Oscar Williams, huh? Yeah. And that's about it. Harvard Summer.
Okay. Now, what type of defenses did you use?
I played with a wide tackle stick, but my primary defense was 5'4".
Okay. Right. Another question I have is, this is a trade secret, by the way. Where did you get your athletes?
Well, let's see. Moscow, Richwood, Swartz, some of them out of Monroe, south side of Monroe. That's it. Quick Joe Lane. That's it. My boys were country boys. They didn't know anything about football, most of them.
Oh, okay. And so how did you regiment them, get them regimented to football?
Well, they knew something. They heard about the game, and they were inspired because it was coming to Richwood, and they just wanted to play. They wanted to win. And they wanted to win, baby.
Okay, good.
Richwood was a basketball school before then, and those kids wanted the basketball.
Okay.
They just, when I came there, they were winners.
Okay. Now, who are some of the athletes who went to pro from Richwood? I understand some of your athletes became professionals.
Who are they? Golden Sellers? Yeah. Golden Sellers. Joe Prophet.
Okay.
Sammy White. Charlie Smith. Don Zimmerman? Yeah, that's right. Don Zimmerman. I get Don over there.
Okay.
I think those are the only ones.
Okay.
Thomas Bailey. I'm sorry. Thomas Bailey.
Okay. And and that's the extent of it, or do you have some more that you have forgotten to mention?
Something you've forgotten.
Okay.
I'm sure there's something you've forgotten. Well, more than that. Yeah, I can't think. Mackie didn't tell you, but I'm 83 and he's 90. 91.
Okay. Okay. Good.
A lot of water has gone on.
I understand. Now, what colleges did your athletes go matriculate?
Let's see, Alcone, Grambling, Southern, Arkansas, Jackson, Tennessee, and some other place. Anyway.
Okay.
Lane College.
Okay.
And Arizona. What's the name with Arizona? Arizona State. Yeah, Arizona State.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you a question now that might be a little tricky, but I think that you can answer this question. If you had to do this all over again, and let's say at age 35, how would you do it differently, or would you do it differently?
I would do it the same way, baby.
Okay. And what do you think made your teams winning teams?
Well, we just taught winning, and we just taught winning. We didn't have anything special. We just put that in the bars and test the fortitude in the bars. To give you an example, I was hired at Richwood in '56. In the first few years I was there, Mackie won every game he played except two. So those kids, started off winning. Even his first year they won. And they continued to win. And then you went through a period where you won all the games other than 2.
Okay.
And after that, that's when his big winning streak, happened. And then kids would come to the team, who had been talked to by boys who had played, who had been successful. They came in as winners. And one year he had a quarterback who told him at the end of the season he was going to bring him a new quarterback when practice started, and the boy did. And Mackie sent him out on the field and gave him the ball. The boy threw a pass about 20 yards, and so Mackie was impressed with that. But he had to throw it 30 yards, long and long. He ended up throwing about 60 yards downfield. So I'm saying the kids he taught, would teach kids before school started. And they didn't always want to be the starter themselves. There was somebody in the community who had better ability, they would work with him and they would come in ready to play.
Okay. Now, that's very good, very interesting as well. How was Richwood viewed in the Ouachita community, or should we say the Monroe community?
Well, Richwood was, I'll say, field athletically.
Okay.
Carroll High School, principal used to get on TV, on radio every Sunday morning and talk about his old school down country school, Richwood, and he offered to play us. And he got so bold with it, he made a mistake and sent a blank contract down to the school. And he had signed. And when I say blank, I mean blank other than his signature. That was Principal Henry Carroll. He was my high school principal. Richwood was winning and Carroll was winning, and small school, large school, and he just knew that Carroll was going to beat Richwood. Well, it didn't come out that way. And the amazing thing about it is our principal asked me to fill out the contract, and I did. And it was probably the best contract ever written because we required him to do everything we wanted him to do because he had already signed the contract.
Okay. What were some of the things that you might have asked him to do?
Well, first thing, we wanted 50-50, the money. I had many people on the gate everywhere inside the football. We had people there. And we had number of tickets and everything. And we closed all the loopholes that somebody could, mistreat a small school. At that time, I was teaching biology, chemistry, and physics, and I knew a little math, so we put all of that in effect. And then that's when Mackie's team started making money.
Oh, okay.
Because of that big game, and we won the ball game.
Okay. Now, what year was this?
You got to get it there. 65, right? That's 1955. I wasn't 55. I mean, 65.
1965. Now, this is a question. Now, there's a professional football player named James Harris who went to Carroll High School.
Right.
Did you all play Carroll during that time period?
He was the first man we played against. We beat it.
Okay. Okay.
That's what Coach was telling you about just then.
Yeah.
We beat it. By the way, his uncle was our assistant coach.
Oh, okay. His uncle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who took over after I retired.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Good. Okay, now, when Richardson High School came on the scene, were you all still AA or were you AAA?
AA.
You all were AA. Did you play Richardson?
It was single A then.
Oh, they were single.
We played them one time after, where we were rebuilding. We played them, I think, but they still were single A.
Oh, they were single A. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
We played him twice. Yeah, we played him twice.
Oh, okay. Is there anything else that you would like to say about your career at all?
Well, after his coaching career, he served as an assistant principal at the school. Was very much respected, adored, and even at age 91, every time every class that exists have a reunion, they invite Coach Freeze. So not only did he have stature, with the school and with the students, but in the entire community. The football stadium at Richwood is named Mackie Freeze, named after Mackie Freeze. So he has lived a good life. God has been good to him. He's done well. The community respects him. All the players respect him. We have players who call he and I both every time the ball bounces from New York, Chicago, whatnot. So I'm saying he has led a good life. Once he retired from education, he worked for the city of Monroe as a pre-treatment director in charge with EPA type things. He worked there until he retired from that, and now he's working hard in his church and in his community and just still helping young people, day by day. To me, he's had a quality life. God has been good to him, and you wouldn't believe how active he is at 91.
I can understand. Sounds like it. Now, another question I have. Coach Freeze, have you produced any other football coaches?
Yeah.
Okay.
All over the city. Basketball. We didn't tell you that I was a basketball coach too at one time.
Okay. So about how many football coaches did you produce?
Well, Eugene Hughes, Freddie McHenry. Who else right here? No, that's about all right now I can think of. That's my students, Freddie McHenry and Eugene Hughes, head coaches.
Okay.
They were maybe sub-heads, but my head coach was Freddie McHenry and Eugene Hughes. Freddie McHenry currently is the athletic director for Washington Parish High School.
Okay. And did any of them go to the college levels? Did anybody go to college level as a coach?
No, I don't think so. Oh, yeah, he was for a while. Yeah. He was for a while, yeah. Went to over the ground, yes, he did.
Oh, okay.
11 came with me.
Okay. Now, anything else? I'm just about ready to wrap it up. Anything else that you would like to impart on your audience?
You talking to you? No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, Coach Mackie Freeze, I'd like to thank you very much for talking to us. And I'm sure that the audience would be very glad to hear your voice in the future. So thank you very much, and we wish you well. And thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.